Welcome to a lesson with Dr. Powell. Let's take a look for a minute at functions like this. F of x is equal to something like 2 to the x. This is what you would call an exponential function. Now, let's think about this for just a minute. If we plug in 0, look what happens. We plug in 0 into this function, we get 2 to the 0, which is 1. Plug in 1 and you get out 2 to the 1, which is 2. So you plug in 1 and you get out 2. Now what happens when you plug in 2? When you plug in 2, you end up getting 4. Notice what's happened. As we move one input over, we multiply by 2. And here we move one input over and we multiply by 2. So instead of it being like a straight line, where if we go over 1, we always go up the same amount, here we go over 1 and we multiply by the same amount. So the amount that we go up obviously increases as we go forward, yet we have this nice idea where we have kind of like a multiplication slope, if you will, multiplication by 2 for every run of 1. So now, what if we were to do something like this, multiply the whole thing by 5? We multiply all these guys by 5. 5 times, so the y value would be 5 times 2 and 5 times 4. Notice that we've done is we've just changed our intercept, our y-intercept. So this 5 is kind of like your y-intercept. This 2 is kind of like your multiplication slope. In fact, what if we just kind of thought of it this way? I mean, think of this exponentiation, pretend like it's multiplication, pretend like the multiplication is addition. Or you could write it like 2x plus 5. This looks a lot like mx plus b, where b is the intercept, m is the slope, but then we change the plus to multiplication, and the multiplication, you see it right here, as exponentiation, m to the x times b, only we write the b on the other side, so bmx. This is a key that we can use when we graph these things. For instance, what if we had f of x is equal to 2 times 5 to the x? Now, what would this look like? Well, we know what the y-intercept is. It's 2. And as we go over, if we go over 1, we're going to multiply it by 5. So it would be all the way back up to 10 right here. And we could keep going. Now, if we go back, let's see. At -1, we need to be at a y value such that when we multiply by 5, we get to 2. So in other words, we just divide by 5 this way. So when we go this way, we divide by 5. We go this way, we multiply by 5. You can see that from here to here, we've divided by 5 from the 10s to 2. So going back this way, we divide by 5 to get to 2/5. And we just keep going. So this is an example of how to graph a function, an exponential function that has this form: y-intercept, multiplication slope. Thanks for watching.